let's just say it out loud. Love is the only experience where you're going to ignore red flags that are actively on fire. You stock a phone like it owes you money, and you'll convince yourself that this time your brain is making a healthy choice. Have you ever looked at someone and thought, I don't even know you, but I would absolutely rearrange my entire personality for you? That's not romance. That's dopamine with a personality disorder. Welcome back to Planting Thoughts. Succulents, today we're unpacking attraction, love, and heartbreak from the evolutionary perspective to neuroscience to why your dignity evaporates the second someone texts, hey. And if you've ever wondered why losing someone feels like a physical injury, congratulations, your brain is functioning exactly as it was designed to. Love makes smart people dumb. And let's be honest, guys, the attraction that you feel for that person, it is being driven by your ancestors. Attraction isn't mystical, it is a survival algorithm. Wearing modern clothes, your preferences feel personal, but most of them were coded before electricity was even invented, baby. From an evolutionary psychology standpoint, attraction evolved to answer one question really fast. Will this person increase my odds of survival and reproduction? And that's it. That's the whole thesis. Men, on average, what are they drawn to? Well, number one, they want to see facial symmetry. Facial symmetry is a health indicator, and this has been shown in multiple studies, research backed studies. So when a guy seems shallow because they're looking for beauty, this is all tied into evolutionary theory, evolutionary psychology, right? They can't help it. It is a biological imperative to spread their DNA as far and wide as they can. Now, what is another cue? Let's be honest. They look for youth cues. This is a reason why many men are attracted to women who are a few years younger than them. It's fertility probability. Those women are seen on an evolutionary level, right? A very biological, primal level by men as having a much better opportunity to produce offspring. That's the game. Another thing that men are drawn to, and again, this is all science based, so don't shoot the messenger here, but they like a nice waist to hip ratio. And this is supported cross culturally, right? The dudes really like a waist to hip ratio. Now, let's get to the ladies, right? What are women actually drawn to, right? Number one, status, right? And this is where you get this whole trope about the gold digger, right? They're looking for someone who can take care of their kids. It's survivability. It's not gold digging, it's called safety and protection. But you know what women are drawn to even more than money? Because there are a lot of really rich dudes out there and they've got no game. They can't secure the lady, or if they do, they're getting divorced 10 years later and she's walking away with half, right? They respect and they're drawn to competent men. Be good at something, right? This again signals safety. And there are these things called hypergamic principles, right? That say that a woman needs to make sure that it's her offspring and herself are protected and safe. And competency shows that, it signals that. Another thing that women look for is a confident man, confidence, or a confident woman. And why is confidence so attractive? Because once again, it signals safety. It signals that you are someone who can sort of handle sort of situations, right? That you're not going to shrink down if you're presented with a threat, right? And then lastly, right, women really want to see an emotionally steady man. That's actually a big part of it. And in today's modern world, that is much more important than maybe it used to be, right? Big muscles, right? Getting to the gym, puffing up, being a strong guy, aggressive. I can do MMA, right? Yeah, okay. Look, those things are great. And they are still somewhat relevant in today's society, right? You need to be able to protect someone and yourself physically, right? But today's society, modern dating, emotional steadiness, that is the hypergamic trait that women are looking for. They need to know that you're not going to flip off the handle and leave when the going gets hot, right? They want to see that the toughs stay, not get going. They need that for them and their offspring, right? They need protection. And so let's get to that word hypergamy, right? Hypergamy isn't a moral concept, right? It's a strategic mating concept, and it basically just means strategic mating upward. You're seeking security, right? Resources, capability. And in ancestral times, can this man protect me during the winter? Right? In modern times, can this man regulate himself and not spiral during a minor inconvenience? Right? Is he punching holes in the wall because things go wrong? That is not a sexy, confident, grounded man. Look, this stuff is all the same instinct, right? But it's just better lighting. We don't need the strong man. We need the emotionally strong man. And fun fact, studies do show that women rate men as more attractive when they're photographed next to luxury cues, even if the man is objectively below average. Your brain just loves context more than it loves the truth. Guys, it's not fair, right? Attraction does not equal fairness. You were probably born genetically inferior, possibly superior in the looks department, right? And again, this is all subjective, right? Some women are going to love that. Some women are going to hate that. Social media amplifies this stuff too, right? I mean, look, let's be real. Hypergamy, the only reason we have the whole gold digger trope, right? Women only care about money is because of these insecure little men who get on there, they can't get a date, and so they start screaming about, why it's not fair and they can't get money and women are all hoes and stuff like this. Come on. You can't be resentful towards biology. It's just the way it is, man. Safety, right? Emotional stability. You can take care of them. And if they're not with you, that's what you're signaling, my dudes. It ain't their fault, it's yours. Now let's get into the chemicals, right? Because this is where dignity goes to die. When attraction hits, your brain releases dopamine, the obsession chemical, right? This causes you to pursue, to become obsessed with her or him, motivated to find situations where they're in so you can be there too, right? Then the norepinephrine spikes. And causes your anxiety, right? Does she like me? And your tunnel vision. I only love him. He's so dreamy. Testosterone, estrogen kick in, and there comes the sexual desire, right? And then here's the kicker, serotonin drops. Yeah, the same neurotransmitter involved in OCD, which is why you replay conversations in your head like they're the sacred Torah, right? You overanalyze texts like you're reading the Bible for the first time and you're a first year seminary student. You mentally storyboard your entire future together after one good date, right? You're not catching feelings, you're experiencing temporary neurological instability, my guys. Fun fact, brain scans show early romantic attraction suppresses regions tied to critical social judgment. I mean, this literally means that love turns off the part of your brain that says, this is a bad idea. Eh, eh, eh. Look, Why does chemistry feel so urgent? Because it's in the brain. It's happening on a micro level. It's happening instantaneously. These chemicals are flooding you as soon as that trigger, that social biological cue, that emotional stimuli, her or him, right? It triggers all this stuff and it feels like it's a massive earthquake. Oh, she's my soulmate. And why does attraction feel scarce? Because honestly, it's so subjective, right? I mean, you're only going to be attractive to some people, and chances are they might not be attracted to you, and most of it's biological. I mean, there's some cultural components as well. We're going to get into that stuff, right? And then it hurts because let's be honest, once you're in love or once you're crushing on someone, right, it feels like addiction, and you go into withdrawal when she or he's not there. I mean, it's awful, right? And then you become more obsessed and addicted because once they're there, you get that dopamine spike, all this other stuff, the norepinephrine, right? And the loop continues. And let's talk leverage, right? Attraction is not just about looks, it's about signals. People are drawn to people who have direction, right? They're going somewhere in life. This signals like groundedness, right? Mission, right? Autonomy. We're drawn to emotionally regulated people who aren't going to be in traffic and they're going to be pulling out their pistol and shooting other people because they're having a bad day. He cut me off, right? They're drawn to competence. Do something well, like up your game. If you're a guy out there and you're just trying to get by off your daddy's wealth, you're pathetic. Learn how to do something, right? Grow a pair, my dudes. People are drawn to scarcity. It's the reason you stand in line for that crappy iPhone that's basically just an upgrade over the last one. And when I say upgrade, what? It films in 2 extra pixels. We like purpose, right? People who have a plan, a mission, right? Where are they going? It's not vibes. It's not just tricks, right? It's not manifesting. You can't sit there and manifest the love of your life. If you want to level up attraction, you need to build a regulated nervous system. Calm down around your crush, my guys. Take a breath. A life you respect, build something. Hit the gym, right? Learn a new hobby, level up your game. Come over to Plant the Spark, my dating and relationship channel. I'll teach you exactly how to get the woman or the guy of your dreams. I mean, build some boundaries that filter, right? Instead of chase. Be selective. You need to view yourself as the prize because, like, you are. You can't worry about what other people think. You can only worry about what you can achieve with what you have. And here's the truth nobody wants to hear. The most attractive thing you can do is stop auditioning for people. Be authentic, be yourself, and then see where things go. And if they don't like you, great. If they do, great. Well, look, confidence increases perceived attractiveness even when physical appearance remains unchanged. I mean, come on. Your posture alone alerts people to who you are. Your posture alone alters how people rate you. When you've got just that inner strength and confidence, you can't help but be attracted. I mean, have some self-respect. This is attraction gravity, right? You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't double text. This kills the polarity of attraction, my guys. You've got to have some interest and some scarcity. I mean, there's a difference between arrogance and confidence, though, right? You're not a jerk off. You're not running around pretending like you're special. You're just grounded in yourself. You have faith in who you are. Falling in love is not romantic. It's a multi-stage neurochemical takeover. I mean, you've got lust, right? Stage 1, lust. Your hormones are kicking in, the desire's building. Your biology is basically yelling at you. Get it, treat yourself. Stage 2, right? Attraction, the dopamine spikes, the obsession starts, the reduced appetite, the reduced sleep, the reduced standards. Stage 3 is attachment, oxytocin, vasopressin, right? These things create bonding. trust, emotional safety, and that obsession turns to real sort of like glue. This is where love becomes identity relevant, which explains my little story here. So listen, I am not proud to tell you this, but I once stood outside my girlfriend's dorm room at 1 a.m. with a guitar because love. I'm serenading her, right? I'm committed. I'm delusional but confident. She comes to the window, right? And I think, yes, I've done it. I've unlocked romance, right? Her roommate walks up next to her. They turn to each other and start to giggle, right? And then plot twist. The dean of students walks out looking like someone just ruined his entire life. Long story short, I got suspended for a week. Then she later dated one of my friends. And I learned that love removes your access to risk assessment. Love will absolutely make you do crimes with good intentions. And why is this? It's because love leads to the loss of inhibition. It's like alcohol, right? It's things that you would have done, but you were kind of afraid to. Once you're in love, you're all in, baby. You're buying the candy box. You're bringing her flowers, right? You're sending her poems. You're giving her big tips at the restaurant, all in hopes that she'll find you attractive and in love. This doesn't work. Calm down. Relax. Love makes you do stupid crap. Emotional regulation, that's what helps you come back down. And let's be honest, breakups, if you have one, they don't just hurt emotionally, they hurt biologically. They hurt you neurologically. I mean, brain imaging shows romantic rejection activates the same regions as physical pain. Owie. The same pathways as cocaine withdrawal. Where's my fix? I need Katie. Look, you're not weak. You're detoxing. You lost your dopamine source. I mean, this thing was going wild every time she walked in the room, every time you thought about her, every time you anticipated seeing her, right? Now it's gone. Your stress regulator, right? That oxytocin, bye. No more bonding and safety, right? You could better go pet your dog or cat. Your identity anchor, right? If you were in love, the person that you now love, someone who you tied your identity to, that was a we, right? Not just a me. It's gone. And you've got to start over, baby. Your imagined future, right? All those times. We're going to have children together. It's going to be so wonderful. We're going to go here and here and here. We're not going to make the same mistakes. Bye bye. And this is why your brain screams, text them, just check for closure. Look, that ain't closure. You're going into relapse. You're a drug addict, and your drug is little Johnny. So, ladies, put down the syringe, right? It doesn't matter if that haircut is that cute. Let it go. People in heartbreak show increased activity in the ventral tegmental area, the brain's reward craving center. Look, you're craving the person, not the relationship. You're craving the fix, right? You're craving that hit of little Susie. Look, what this does is it creates rumination loops. You start to think back and you only remember the good times, right? Never the bad times. You start to idolize them. The grass was always greener, right? They were so great. You start to look at some of their flaws and you start to make excuses for them. Oh, it was actually cute when he left the toilet seat up or whatever. And this is why, that closure doesn't work. There is no closure. There is no closure if you keep thinking about the person, right? You can't stop the dopamine spike. What if, right? You want the serotonin. You want to feel good, and you've lost. You've lost the love of your life, baby. You get social rejection, and that equals a survival threat, right? I mean, look, social rejection was a killer back in the day. The cavemen, they were done if they were socially rejected. Now, here's the cold science backed protocol, right? If this happens to you, if you lose that love, right, you got to go into no contact. Every interaction resets the addiction cycle. You got to go into no contact for at least 60 days. I'm saying 90. Now, what does this mean? This means you don't call them, you don't text them, you block them on every social media site, or at least unfollow them. I prefer blocking them because then you don't get their little updates. Look, you mute all of the friends that might be posting stuff about them. You change their name in your phone if you keep it to don't contact this mother effer, right? Don't contact this person. Not mother effer, I'm kidding. What you do is you exclude them from your life completely and you don't contact them. You don't reach out. You don't break the contact no matter what. If they reach out to you, you can give a short reply or don't. I prefer don't. It's a breadcrumb. They don't want you back. They're probably just missing you a little bit at this point. You got to go for 60 days at least, and you can reassess. Let's do a reality audit here. I mean, write down your full relationship, right? If you're in no contact, write this stuff down, not just the highlight reel. Go into it and look back, and you can look at all those times that weren't that great, right? And you might reminisce a little. You might get nostalgic about the good times too, and that's all right too, because it's helping your body sort of reset and regulate, right? You're calming your nervous system in a more safe environment without him, without her. You can get better sleep, right? Get out, hit the gym, walk, hike, get some movement, some sunlight, eat some food, my guy. Rebuild your identity. I mean, look, love collapses identity, right? Healing rebuilds it. You can go out, hang with the dudes, hang with the chicas, right? Your buddies. Go to your parents and ask for some advice. They'll love you for it. They'll be shocked, but they'll love you for it. Right? Get out and do stuff. Don't be waiting around. Let's redirect that dopamine, guys. New habits. Dudes, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't know. Read a book for once in your life. Create new feedback loops. And if you want to avoid repeating this entire saga again, look, come hang with me at Plant the Spark. We talk attachment, we talk boundaries, we talk about choosing better before pain becomes the curriculum, to be honest. Right? You're the prize. Guys, if you expect no contact or doing these things to get her back, that time is going to heal all wounds. It doesn't. You have to break the person off from your life completely if you want those wounds to heal. Time doesn't do it. All right. There's not any studies that show that time does it. All right. I want to end on a more positive note, some fun pop psychology triggers. So, does red actually increase attraction? Yes, it actually does. Does scarcity actually increase desire? Yeah, it does. A little mystery, a little scarcity, right? If there's too much of something, it ain't rare. Everybody's got it, and I don't want it. Eye contact matters. Yeah, it does. Does novelty spike dopamine? Yes. That's why playfulness, right? Being a little jokey and flirty is so important. That being said, none of this overrides emotional safety, right? That's number one. Red lips, cute. Yeah, emotionally safe, better. None of this sustains long term bonding, guys. I mean, just because you guys are gazing into each other's eyes, there's a little chemistry, a little attraction. That doesn't mean you're staying together forever. Tricks might get attention. Character is what keeps people, right? Unless you're an anxious avoidant, and then you might stay with that dork. Love is biology plus meaning, right? Attraction pulls you in, love bonds you. Heartbreak rewires you. And if you pay attention, it can also upgrade you. Ladies and gentlemen, if this episode helped you understand your patterns, your pain, or your past, or your questionable decisions, hit subscribe, share it with a fellow succulent, and keep planting better thoughts. I'm Mike. This is Planting Thoughts, and remember, your brain isn't broken, your heart isn't weak. You just fell in love with a nervous system that has no chill. Later, peeps.